Hello and welcome to Team Fortress TV. My name is Ryushi, his name is Admirable, and with us is John on the camera. Hold on a minute. We're sorry, we're late. We're getting all mixed up here. But this is ETF2L Season 18, powered by TT eSports. It's the Premiership. It's week 7. It's the game of the season, baby. Epsilon eSports versus Awsomniac. It's going to be Snakewater and Granary. Ryushi, I know you're a little tired, buddy. I'm trying to get your heart racing here. Are you
Oh,
waking up?
my heart's been fucking racing for like the past hour or two for this game, man. It's gonna be so good. I hope. I mean, I hope it should be good. It should be good. Shouldn't it be good? It should be good, right?
Shouldn't have done all that methamphetamine, my friend.
Yeah.
It's going to be an entertaining cast.
Well,
Got,
we'll bloody try. We'll bloody try it, but I hope that the fucking players will do it for themselves. Realistically.
we've
Stop
got
swearing.
some.
I apologize.
We've got a rumor here from Warher. Yeah, I think he's feeding me red herrings here. False information. But he reckons that Mike rage quit during an Epsilon PCW because Nox was trading instead of playing. Do you believe it?
Well, we know how Mike deals with toxic personalities, so I mean, it's 100% possible if Nox is deciding to trade instead of play. I mean, you got to get those hats though; they're so important, so important. Was it even tier 2
Yeah.
items? Can we get confirmation on that?
Especially when you consider like the recent update we've had. We saw Samsey from Rocket really using that rock paper scissors taunt to great effect in their glorious victory over 425. Maybe Nox just wants to emulate him, his former teammate.
That was just awkward.
But I would also suggest that War is just full of shit and he's trying to wind us up. But these two teams, it's going to be Epsilon coming in as the underdogs, and that is just, a turn up for the books. When was the last time that happened? Never. Never.
I think it's a stretch to call them the underdogs here. Yeah, they might have slightly less points, but that's just because the Lazy Pandas are amazing.
That is true. Highlander Master Race. But even when you consider that this Awsomniac team have had the full 7 weeks and longer to play together, this Epsilon roster has only been solidified in the last 3-4 weeks. Sort of lose track of time myself, but obviously they had roster changes throughout the season. Eventually, having cut Heist, they also dropped Nox from Soldier onto Medic, put Mike in there, and got Warren on demo. They have Tech in then to roam because Nox sucks at Soldier. That's the word on the street. And Kyler unbashed, still playing Scout here.
I think the real victim in all of this though has to be Raymond. They just sort of said, well, from what I can gather, they sort of told him that he was definitely not playing with them at LAN. So, would he mind sort of stepping back? And he sort of said yes, as far as I can get. Is that kind of what happened? You know more than me.
Oh yeah, Raymond. I almost forgot about that guy. Yeah, no, they offered him a chance to play throughout the season or to the end of the season or something like that, but he said no because he was going to get dropped for LAN. And then they say they're going to bring Numlock back 3 weeks before LAN, but everybody thinks that's a terrible idea, or is that just me? But a lot of question marks over Epsilon. This is a real test for those players who might have a little uncertainty over whether they're going to make it to LAN or not. Like, I mean, War apparently is going to be cut for Numlocked at LAN, but say he plays well here and carries them to victory in the playoffs, it could be a different story. Why would you cut your winning demo man for some has-been who now plays League of Legends? What an idiot.
I don't know, man. I mean, is that really Nox's style to do that though? I mean, we've kind of seen that he does cut a lot of people. So even though he's winning with War, I mean, I don't know. I couldn't comment. I'm not a Prem player at all. I wouldn't know how the inner workings of the Prem Illuminati work. I would have to defer to you in that respect. But
All right, well,
we're all.
what does your heart tell you, man?
What does my heart tell me? What my heart tells me that War's going to play for some other team on LAN, and Numlock's going to come back. They're going to bring him back. They've been training in secret PCWs across the Atlantic with him for like the past 2 months. He hasn't actually been playing League of Legends all this time. He's just been offline on Steam or like playing lobbies with a voice changer or something. I don't know. He's been practicing. That's what I want to believe.
It just messages me on Steam. String of full stops, periods for you North Americans tuning in. He is stunned into silence here. Words cannot elaborate what is he feels right now. I've called him out live on air, but let's forget about that. I want to know, Ryushi, who do you think is going to win this game right here today?
It's going to be close. Straight up, it is going to be close, but I think it's going to be a draw. One map each. Granary, old favourite, that's coming up second. I think Epsilon are going to take that, but Awsomniac are going to shock the world by taking a map off Epsilon. First time in a multitude of seasons that they actually lose a map in regular season, I think. Only lost to Broda maps in grand finals.
Yeah, that's true. I'm going to say, I'm going to be bold. I will say that Awsomniac will win both maps. I'll go ahead and predict a scoreline on Snakewater. I'm going to go for 4-2 on Granary. I'll say 5-3. Yeah. Put my reputation on the line.
I'd go with 5-3 Snakewater to Awsomniac and 6-2 Epsilon on Granary. That's what I'm going for.
I think there's been some drama in the Awsomniac ranks as well. Recently, there was some question mark over Maryland. I'm not entirely sure what the deal was there, but I think they briefly flirted with the idea of replacing their superstar medic. But it didn't happen. Everything is back to normal, so it's all happy families. Or is it? Could there be some underlying tension? Remember, of course, that in the past when Zebasai played with Maryland, they had some big fallings out. I'm not saying that that's what's happened again, but Maryland, an incredible player, but can really seem to get under his teammates' skins over the course of a season. I wonder, will we see that impact on the game tonight? But I'm just speculating. I see like 12 players on the server here, Ryushi. I hear one of them ready up. We could be getting underway.
We absolutely could be. But commenting on that Maryland issue, I mean, I don't know if you saw the... No, I'm not going to do that at all. They're going live at Admirable. Introduce us.
Yeah, you are through to teamfortress.tv with Admirable, Ryushi and John. We're going to the first middle here of this epic Epsilon versus Awsomniac game. And I see Kadis trading stickies with Warher on the mid. Neither demo men doing much damage, but Kadis is setting up a little trap there on the left, trying to find one of the scouts, but first blood goes to Knutson straight onto War. Kadis is still alive here, but Tech comes in from the kitchen. He's not sure who to go for. He decides to go for Maryland, but that guy cannot be killed. The Epsilon Nox, only man left alive here for the old school champions. Awsomniac coming out strong here on the first mid. They are setting the pace. Nox is going to make it back to spawn. I think nobody's going to chase him all the way. Kadis has set up a sticky trap already on the left, but...
I saw a ridiculous early jump from Knutson to just go and straight away take down War. Those demo sticky getting the damage back up, not even helping. But they're pushing straight in on this right-hand side. Might going to be the first frag for falling to the scattergun of Stark. And now this is a dangerous position. War's left out alone on the point. No, he manages to back himself away. And now Stark and Zebasai actually go down to a counter jump from Tech and Bash. And now this could be a very dangerous position for both teams, as they're actually both lost a lot of players now. Mirrorly and Kadis, the only ones up for Awsomniac. So a good defense from Epsilon. They thought they were going to rotate, and then they just didn't. They came back out the same door and pushed.
Tech's it onto Maryland. Kadis and Maryland have gone different ways. Maryland is juking Tech right now. He's got his overdose. He needs help. He's trying to buy enough time. And somehow Maryland survives, but Starkey will go down to Tech there, and Tech is going to be feeling left a little short-changed there, I think. Up against a medic with nobody there for at least 5 seconds, and somehow Maryland just keeps evading him, man. This guy's wall hacking for sure.
Oh, that's the Maryland we know and love, and the one we want to see in this game, so let's hope that it can happen again. But they're going to be defending mid right now. Mike and Knutson both sort of trading blows there, or trading kills. And now, I think Epsilon are just going to be able to force them out here a little bit. They know they've got uber advantage because Maryland wasn't healing for a very long time. And they're just going to have, and Awsomniac are just going to have to back out straight away. They're going to back out their sword now. Actually, Epsilon going to get really aggressive here with this Uber to try and chase them out, try and catch them if they're not looking behind them. But in comes War really early, takes a huge scattergun shot to the face, forcing Nox to pop his Uber nice and early there. And a good trade actually for both Ubers in the store room.
Yeah, very smart play there from Epsilon and from Awsomniac. Like the instant and Maryland, they're always the two going in with that charge, and they are a tight unit, but you saw Epsilon were just expecting that. They didn't overcommit any players, they backed straight out, but I got onto Epsilon's last. I feel like Kadis and Maryland probably could have gambled a little bit, tried to move around to the left and help, because by the time they had run all the way out, it actually ended up in a 3-on-3 situation, but Zebo died just as they had decided to leave, so it was a little bit unfortunate there. Maybe they're just trying to play a low-risk game today. They don't want to give Epsilon any easy chances to wipe them. They always want to keep those players in the field and, of course, keep that medic up. Right now, though, both teams just getting their charge before they want to move forward and start to poke and prod, but War's got stickies in the Sol room, and you see Mike patrolling the lobby down there in case any of the Awsomniac scouts want to overextend his former teammate Stark. Of course, the top skip jumping in through here into Merlin. Merlin refuses to pop. Oh, then he does pop out at the end, but he's got Stark close to him. He's going to try and send Stark in for the force, but this is a pretty bad Uber exchange right now for Awsomniac. Stark will go down. That's going to equalise things since Tech went down earlier, but other frags coming in. Both teams showing a lot of respect here.
Yeah, nice.
Oh,
a really nice play by Tech there to follow up, and then the good follow-up damage from... What is that? Kaitis gets a double kill onto Noct and Kyler, and now War is alone fighting Merlin. What is happening? Where is the rest of Awsomniac? Merlin was just alone in Sol there, and he still manages to take everything. There's a soldier. He's trying to find him. No!
Oh, incredible.
He doesn't get him. What?
Incredible. Merlin's reactions.
He's like covered in grease or something. It's ridiculous. Oh man, that was fantastic.
Great awareness there. He's like being pressured by War, but then he's trying to run away from him. Doesn't panic too much and run into Tech. Just manages to keep everybody at arm's length there and avoid that last rocket thrown out by Tech. But they haven't managed to gain any territory off the back of this. With those good spawns on mid, Epsilon are not really out of contention here, but it does give Awsomniac a solid chance to push here with an Uber advantage. But Epsilon's positioning is usually excellent, so I'd be surprised if they lost more than one player here. You would expect to see Awsomniac try and bully their way in without actually using the charge, but we're going to go to a little pause here, I think, Ryushi.
Yeah, it looks that way. I mean, Awsomniac look like they're coming in through the catwalk. They haven't think they've been called yet. I'm fairly certain Tech can't actually see them from that high advantage, but here they come. They're coming straight away. A little bit of a repause. Just going to be letting someone back in, so I'm guessing someone crashed. And I mean, they could pick Tech up here if they're quick enough. Yeah, Tech's going to jump in. He's going to try and force Merlin as early as possible. He does get the force out, but shut down nice and early by Awsomniac. So yeah, they get one frag out of that Uber, and they get mid. Called it perfectly.
Yeah, just great play by Tech. Good timing there. Maybe a little bit naive of Awsomniac's humble not to wait for that bomb, but they went in, they got forced, and they've lost a player for the force as well. So very efficient play from both sides. Too many frags. And really, it's going to take some crazy play for the action to really get under, for both teams to commit in deep to each other. But Epsilon are be able to cap this point uncontested. I feel Awsomniac gave up too much ground there. They've backed all the way to last. Maybe they favour that fight. They'd rather take the fight on last than take the fight on second. They have a little advantage here though, and I'm quite sure that they know it because of the way the Ubers were treated. So they'll be getting ready to push now. Here you see Kaitis and Zebasai moving through lobby, and Merlin's got them both fully buffed. And are they going to push blind here? Kaitis is already peeking out. He sees the Epsilon are far away. He's going to be calling for Merlin to hold on to that Uber. No need to pop. They can retake here, and they don't even need to push hard. It's just going to end up as an Uber versus Uber battle, though. It's a little bit of a steal. But Tech coming in from the flank, though. And, he's on to Merlin, but doesn't land any decent rockets there. Merlin going to be back to 100 health and able to push ahead here, Ryushi.
Yeah, they were spamming War out of choke there, and he went down to about 20 HP. They've just called for a pause, so I'm guessing someone got cancelled. Who died? Oh yeah, Zebasai went out, and then he's rejoined now, so hopefully that won't happen again, and that'll be the end of the pauses for this such a hyped match. Simple little defense here for Awsomniac on second. They got the trap up on the window. They know Ubers are equal. If they'd got that pick on War as he was leaving through choke, that could have been huge for them, but just getting saved by the heals from Nox there. But now both teams trying to get aggressive through the saw. Nice amount of sticks coming out from War, but Awsomniac just sort of they don't really want to fight this. They're playing it very safely right now.
Yeah, I think both teams seem really nervous there. Zebasai had pushed in deep towards Sorum. He was down to like 130. A scout could have rushed him, easily got that frag, or at least the force, but nobody wanted to make that play. I think they're almost showing each other too much respect here. Bring back the sticky nerf, please. I want to see some action. Oh my god.
You really want to see heavies?
Absolutely. I want to see War on.
Well, Tech's coming in.
Tech's it again.
Taking the same jump. He gets one rocket. Merlin surfs it down onto the lower ground, and Tech explodes. So that is going to be a man advantage for Awsomniac. And with that Uber still both on 100%, they're going to come straight in and see if they can catch Epsilon sleeping, which isn't something that happens often, but they might get the chance to it. They're coming straight in through that choke. Zebsai's going to jump up aggressively onto the point. He actually takes a ton of damage, and now that Uber's got to pretty much be single targeted onto him because he has no health coming out the end of it. The Nox counter pop comes in such a good time. Zebo is surely going to go down. He just manages to make it out of window. Well, Knutson gets picked up somewhere in the backlines right now. Cadis trying to defend Saw for as long as... I'm surprised they only lost 2 for that.
Cadis. Bash rushes through, sees that he's reloading, counts the stick he's being dead. It comes straight through and catches the Demo Man. Without Zebasai there, that combo of Awsomniac was not strong, and this is the moment Epsilon have been waiting for. They've managed to kill 5, and Stark's just respawned after that mid-fight, or he's back. He's only 20 health. There's Knutson and Zebo spawning actually. Both soldiers are going to be able to make it onto the point, but no, they won't even touch it. They can't block. And that was just a long, patient slugfest there that Epsilon came out on top of. They're going to take the first round here in this intense game. That was 8 minutes long. Oh my god.
Well, that's not good for the rest of the map. There's only 30 minutes, 22 minutes left. We need more rounds out of this. Both of our predictions were high amount of rounds. Let's see what they can do on this second middle here right now. Cadis taking that normal rollout to just try and stand on the grass, try and get as much spam out as possible. Epsilon actually going really low. Wow. So huge.
Soldiers coming around on the flank there, bombing into Merlin. Eventually Tech kills him off. And Nox is actually committing to the point this time. He's moved forward, but Stark's onto him, has him down to 10. Needs to land one shot onto Nox to get the frag. Nox makes it into kitchen, but he does get chased down by Stark, who will claim that scalp. Cadis is still alive here. He's doing his best to fight 3 Epsilon players, but it doesn't look good. But that medic pick was all important. Merlin has just respawned. He will have a significant advantage here.
Absolutely. I mean, it's only going to be sort of about 30% right now, but they can definitely defend their last minute and swing in as early as possible. Although, Epsilon, I mean, if they were the confident Epsilon that we know before, I think they'd just push in anyway.
Yeah, that's always an option. They can just play outside of the overcharge window. Speaking of windows, here comes Merlin from the cheese. Knutson actually jumping in and pushing back anybody around the lobby, but Epsilon are already setting up their middle defense here, and the Uber advantage is slipping away, only down to 10% now. Not really worth pushing on, and Merlin's probably going to know that, but he's just sitting here buffing up his team. They're probably trying to calm themselves down after that last play, discuss what went wrong and how they should make their next push. But right now, not much action going on here. Epsilon with the very defensive position in here that they're not really committing anyone forward. Tech and Mike going to peek into the solar from different angles here. Tech has got an opportunity to try and blindside Zebasai, but he doesn't want to get picked off himself. He is going to sit back and wait for his moment. Just soldier spam being traded here. Rocket follows rocket. And now Knutson up top on the pipe as well, trying to create that little crossfire with Zebo here around the solar. Mike is trying to probe his way in there, but he's losing his buff. And he's not going to go in without that 300. This is nail-biting stuff right here. Some people might find it boring, but I'm in my element.
Well, like you say, both teams playing really respectful of each other, and well, maybe not. In comes Tech once again. He's taking that same jump. He does that. He's done that 3 or 4 times in a row now, and it looks like they've figured him out because they take him down immediately. No damage done to Merlin this time.
Oh, Zebo sees a cluster of Epsilon players here. He wants to go in. He's calling for the Uber. He sees 4 and 5. Gets 1 frag already onto war with the shotgun. Epsilon in a bad position there, and now they've lost their demo man for it. As long as Merlin and Zebo can try and back out here. There's the Bastion on the flank as well. Starkey with the great protection onto Merlin. And Nox is trapped in the kitchen. Knutson gets as well. That's a complete wipe. Awsomniac giving Epsilon a taste of their own medicine. Yeah,
absolutely. That huge play from Zebo to just go in with you, and then as it was fading, did you see him go round to kitchen, and they all followed him. Instead of focusing on Cadis, the Uber faded, and Cadis just did so much damage. Knutson and Stark were just able to walk in, just get so many frags to clean up. Such a good play from him. And, well, his calling in that case, because I assume it's up to him most of the time.
Check out the Epsilon defensive setup here. We're going to see Bash on Pyro, Kyler on Heavy. No scouts being played right now. They are bricking it, terrified of this impending Uber push, but it looks like Merlin, Cadis and Zebasai are going to come in from the lower ground. They're big damage dealers. The Pyro hasn't done much, now drops down to try and contest the Admirable players, but there's First Blood going to flip, and this push takes out Bash. The Pyro, Epsilon are all coming in from the spawn, but there's just so many bodies on the point. I think Epsilon played that defense wrong. They just gave up the point too easily, but well played by Awsomniac, having that Uber advantage and making it pay.
Well, they backed their Heavy back into spawn, and I mean, he was never going to get back to the spawn and get back to the point unless he switched to scout. So just a bit. I don't know. I think it almost feels worth leaving him to die and then coming back in with a fully buffed up Mike and Warher. Yeah, but anyway, we're on to this next mid. War taking a little bit of spam damage there from Cadis, but it doesn't look like anything's going to come out of it now. Just going to see who's going to be the first to make the move. Last time we saw soldiers always seeming to doing it, but now what's going to happen? Now it's going to be a scout in. Starkey goes in, gets Mike. Also, War going down to nuts in there. I completely missed that. But now Epsilon just crumbling. They're 2 up. It's the scouts. Can the scouts work finish off? They take 1. They take 2. Can they get the rest? No. Maybe. They're coming in. They're great focused fire now. Stark trying to take on 2 at once. Where's the backup from away? But Bash and Kyler giving up there in the end, wanting to save their lives.
Yeah, big plays there from Zebasai and Stark, 2 incredibly smart players. Tech jumped into the kitchen early of Awsomniac, and Zebo just waited up top and tried to monitor his position, spammed him out and won that fight. Stark came in, dropped down behind Mike, who was also getting ready to go aggressive, and hit him with a couple of sweet meat shots and just took the Epsilon soldiers out of the game. And really, those 2 are some of their biggest strengths. Mike, the greatest player in the world, taking out that middle, and eventually Awsomniac managed to win it. Uh-oh, Merlin has popped up quite early here. Doesn't really matter. They will be able to cap the point anyway. Nox doesn't have his charge just yet, but it does mean that now they've lost that Uber advantage. They're going to have to play defensive here around CP4 and probably give Epsilon the chance to push out. Already we see War deep into the lobby here, down to 60 health, but Mike follow up on his damage and finish off Zebo now. Not only are Awsomniac an Uber disadvantage, they're also a man disadvantage. They're going to have to play this one very cagily, Ryushi.
Oh, Knutson trying to jump in, trying to time it just at the right time. But War does actually get dropped by a nice number of stickies from Cadis right there. And I don't think they really want to push. They're not in any position right now. Merlin faking it out, faking the call. And Epsilon are just, where are they? They're all back at last. They lost War and they just don't want to push anymore. Bash has picked up the sniper rifle. They're looking to sit down and defend this. Heavy as well from Kyler. So they really want to turtle up on this last right now.
Yeah, they.
I can't believe they're just giving it to him. That's not the Epsilon we know.
Check out the bash cam. He's running sniper there from the left spawn door. He's going to try and catch the medic. If he doesn't just Uber as the door opens, he may go down, or one of his players may get dropped. Oh baby! Looks like Awsomniac aren't entirely sure what they're doing. Bash gets bored. In fact, switches off the scout. Now the Uber does come in, but it's equal Ubers here. Nice milks from Nox will give them a few seconds to push out if they want to, but Awsomniac knew it was an Uber trade. They didn't overcommit and immediately switch up. They've rotated to the left hand side and focused down Tech and Kyler. Great play here from Awsomniac, current league leaders, showing Epsilon how they do. Looks like they're about to get us in the board to make it 2-1 here.
That was just perfect. That was perfectly. Wow, that's Awsomniac, you know. Prove me right. Well, I suppose both of us right. We both said they'd win Snakewater. 2-1 up right now. Coming into this 4th middle. Admirable, come on.
Yeah, that's an Epsilon strat they just used there. That's an old one. You know, it's like Uber one side, quickly rotate to the other. But they did it excellently there. And I feel like Tech and Kyler got caught out a little bit there. Bash was it. But anyway, fast bomb again from Tech. He's managed to get all the way behind. He's got Merlin down to 20. Med pack. He's still a thorn in the side here. He knows Merlin's going to go for the kit. He's in onto him. Masterclass there from Tech. But meanwhile, Epsilon dropped 3. War, Bash and Mike all dead. Tech gets cleaned up. Eventually, Nox has managed to survive though. But they will give up this midpoint. And that's a sort of classic situation you see in TF2 where you lose your medic but still manage to get the frags and get the midpoint. They've got territory, but they've put themselves at a disadvantage position. Disadvantageous for this next play.
This is going to leave Nox with a huge advantage. Merlin not opting to pick up that crit screed, so they're looking to, you know, back out and then leapfrog middle a bit. So see what's going to happen. Zebo actually does go down. Maybe they were looking for an early force. If they actually sent a couple of players in, no, it's just going to be Zebo. They weren't able to get that force out onto Nox though. Epsilon are now just going to come in off this man advantage and this huge Uber advantage and just pretty easily take mid here, I think.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of respect. Zebo down, like they don't want to give away too many cheap frags. At least if they keep the bodies up here, they can buy a lot of time in CP2 with the spam. Already War's moving ahead here with Kyler, and he's got Knutson down to like half health. He's not going to be able to do anything, but he gets air shot by Mike. Sick rockets. And who else is going to throw their body on the line here? Starkey goes in trying to make a play, but he's gone down. Long spawn for Stark. It's going to be 15 seconds before he's up, but Merlin does have his Uber, so they can buy at least 8 seconds of time that way. But they're going to have to play very tight here around the point. They can't control the doorways, and already you see Epsilon pouring in for free. They haven't even... Oh, Merlin dropped! Mike Rocket doesn't get the pop off in time. Nox is going to be able to Uber here and keep all his players alive. And, wow. I know how that feels, bro, but this is an important game. It's 2-2 now. Mirren keeping it interesting for us. He wants to keep this game competitive, I guess.
You know, at the end of this round, I was going to suggest a bet between us about who would drop first. And I was going to say it would be Nox dropping first, but I'm really glad I didn't bring that up because. But see what they're going to do. They're coming out this. They're going to be a little bit moralized now. Maryland's going to be oh sorry team, or maybe not. Maybe that's not Maryland's style. But see what they're going to be able to do on this middle right now. And the blue players pretty much occupying the high ground right now. But Knudsen does go down Cadis as well. So Kyla and Bash teaming up to get some nice number of kills. They're playing off Warhair's damage. And now Epsilon are coming in. They're occupying the point. Can they pick up any more? Flip does take down Mike, but trades his life for it. And the rest of Awsomniac are away. So a pretty easy middle there for Epsilon.
Yeah, a total change of pace from Epsilon as well. There was no tech initiating. Both soldiers just stood up top on their own side and spammed. And I think that may have been part of what caught Awsomniac off guard. Knudsen tried to do a skip jump, but sort of whiffed it a little bit, and Cadis was following up on his damage. But really, Epsilon playing passive and defensive just absorbed that pressure with ease. Right now, Awsomniac are sitting on their last. Mirren just went down there. A war sticky trap, or I didn't even see exactly how he died, but no heals here on last. This will surely be another Epsilon round.
He got caught in the lobby. I don't think he dropped. I don't think he quite had it yet, but yeah, pretty much it's 4-5 right now. Epsilon, they've got heals. Can they get on the blocking? They're blocking the point. They're getting a lot of picks for Awsomniac. It's Flip and Mirren versus Mike. Left, can Mike just touch the point? No, Flip is going to take down. Huge defense by Awsomniac there.
Go on, Curse of the Caster. Actually, one thing will happen. It definitely won't. All part of my plan. And no round on the board there for Epsilon, or it's still 2-2 I should say. And here we have Awsomniac retaking their own CP2. No off classes on either side. It's going to be cookie cutter as Maryland's Uber advantage builds up. And Epsilon know this. They're saying we don't want to wait to pick a fight where we're at a disadvantage. We're just going to commit players now. They're going in dry. They've already got 4 in here. And Awsomniac are unsure how to react to this. They're trying to beat out the Knudsen bomb. Nox knows it could be happening soon, so he's backed off towards the lobby. Epsilon have gone in and taken a look at their opponents. They saw the whites of their eyes, but they chose to back off there. They know that the Uber is coming up soon. They didn't want to stay committed. Now they've backed off. But they've bought time here. That's the important thing. Awsomniacs were unsure how to handle that, didn't know what to do. They seem a little bamboozled, and now you see Nox is going to get his full charge here, Ryushi.
Yeah, I mean, it was confusing play. The way they'd been playing earlier in the game was completely different to how they played that last just attack, and I mean it seems to work because now they're holding forward in that saw room, and Awsomniac just they look confused. They look befuddled. What's going to happen? Knudsen takes that pipe and does get a lot of damage onto Tech there, but Tech trades his life for him, and now there's huge damage going out both teams right now. Awsomniac taking more of it there, and maybe having to back out. No, his Episode looks like no. Okay, I thought he was going to lead his team to victory, lead his team into a fight there, but no, he backs out, and the Roamers trade, and not much else happens other than a lot of damage.
Yeah, back to this Uber stalemate we saw for the first 9 minutes of the game. But these periods of calm always end in massive gibbs, so I'm looking forward to eventually here. I just don't know exactly when it'll happen. Mike's peeking from the window and he's been spotted. You see the pre-fire there from Cadis. He knows it's trapped. There's 5 stickies on the wall, so he's not going to make that window play and give away an easy frag, but they are continuously looking for an opening, any sort of player out of position that they can try and snap the neck of. Zebo's jumped up to the window now here. Oh, I'm not sure if anyone spotted him. No, they have now. He could have just dropped down onto Nox there if he just kept walking forward, but he's getting a little frustrated here, I feel. He's walking in and putting down a lot of spam. He's going to jump back. Starkey's gone down as well, so that'll also encourage him to get out. The headshot rings out from Tech.
Oh,
and another one! Oh my god, Tech!
Oh, wow. Taking up the mantle from Flip. He's going to be the best French Prem sniper this season. What else can they get? They pick up Knudsen. Flip's the only one left alive. Can he defend? Can he get a godlike on this last point? I somehow doubt it. He does help take down Mike though, but no, he gets shut down immediately. The point is surely going to go to Epsilon. They're going to bring it to 2-3. So if my prediction's right here, Awsomniac need 5 more rounds. 3 more rounds, should I say.
Yeah, smart pace the game had been played at to take that opportunity to off class when they knew it was going to be a stalemate, and he is a prolific sniper, incredible, and he delivered right there. We're going to see the 6th middle get underway now with 7 minutes 30 left on the clock. And it's going to be Mike initiating, jumps up top and gets Zebo down to 70 health here. Mirren's decided to heal his pocket and send in a few players aggressive.
But Tech comes in from
Tech behind. Oh.
I saw him, he skipped him straight across mid, went all the way through Saw. So close to catching Miralin out there. Good reactions by Zeb's side, but I mean, they've done so much damage to them that they're going to have to back out. There's no way they can defend this. War already getting aggressive with Mike as well, trying to put so much spam down. Zebside's going to get caught out here. He does go down to the stick traps from War, so nice work by Epsilon to deny the main caller spawning from last, and Starkey's picked up the heavy now. Can they defend this?
War's going to bomb in the classic Reb style. He's launched Merlin forward into the danger zone there, and the pistol of Kyler was enough to make Merlin pop off, and Epsilon are just rubbing their hands with glee here. They see another early pop from Awsomniac, and they are just sitting back and soaking up. War's going to respawn in time for this massive Uber advantage here, at least 80%, as Merlin makes it back to the loving arms of his pocket Zebasai. Cadis is trying his best to get a trap off down below, but now backs off and Sticky's up the point, having failed to get a frag there. Knutsen's about to respawn. We see Stark on heavy here, and this is crunch time right now. We're coming in for Nox. They're deep in. Stark is going to be their focus target. Epsilon are happy to kill him off and then step back a little bit. They're not going to commit to the point surely. They want to get all these frags first. They want to make sure that everybody's wiped out before they step on there. And a complete wipe means it's going to be another round on the board. 4-2 here as Epsilon kick it up into 5th gear.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're showing that dominance that they've shown before. It's not quite the same, but it's still pretty. Continue off them. There's 5.5 minutes left in the match right now. Awsomniac 3 easy rounds. I mean, it's all to play for yet. But we'll see what's happening this minute. Both playing out, come out really defensive. Cadis actually taking so much damage. He does even go down to a nice aggression from Kyler there. And now Epsilon, they do lose War pushing across the point, but I think they're still in a much better position. Although, maybe not. Mirrorly does go down to Bash though, and that is going to be huge. Epsilon now just going to collapse on the rest of Awsomniac's players. Stark and Flip, can they stay alive? Can they get any more frags? Stark's going to go down. Flip runs for the health pack. He's got 50 health in the spawn. No, Bash shuts him down.
Oh, it's not looking good right now for Awsomniac. I think they've let their heads hang a little bit. The last 3 middles have just been pretty mindless from them. They seem to be really struggling. Cadis is setting up sticky traps in the lobby, but it's not going to buy enough time for Merlin to get his charge up. Epsilon will be knocking on their door very soon. And let's see how they decide to push this one. They're waiting for buffs outside actually. They're just letting Bash and Mike's probe ahead in here to the lobby to see exactly what the setup is. Tech's going down below, trying to figure out what's happening here. A heavy on last if they're paying attention. So it might be a double scout Uber, double soldier Uber it's going to be actually. And oh, Mike gets juggled in the air with the heavy minigun knockback. And Flip taking up all the attention here. Knutsen's going to jump in high as the Uber fades, manages to pick off Tech. And Awsomniac are doing their best to turn this into an even fight, but Epsilon still have the massive man advantage here. Live healing his team. They're just slowly constricting their opponents, tightening their grip here. Cadis last man on the point. Flip will spawn, but he won't make it onto the point. He will make it onto the point in time, but steps off it. Caps out.
That was close. I didn't think he was going to make that. That was just ridiculous. But I mean, 5-2 right now. Both of our predictions are completely wrong. Can continue this domination right now. I think it's turned into it. It wasn't at the beginning, but it is now. 3 easy rounds for Epsilon. Can they turn it into any more?
Crits for Merlin here, but who knows if he'll survive long enough to use it. Tech is going to do a little skip jump. He's straight onto Cadis. 2 rockets. Gets his man. And already Awsomniac looking a little bit sketchy here on this mid. They've managed to turn it into a 3-on-3. Both medics alive. Flip and Stark versus Mike, Nox and Kyler. Kyler's super weak. Mike had the high ground, but the scouts just stepped forward and focused down the scout. Now they have to deal with Soldier of the Season. Mike Nox gets his Uber in time. And Merlin also has his, but he holds it, he craters!
It was a crit! It was a crit! He couldn't even pop it to save himself!
I forgot.
Oh, it was a beautiful surf though! I think he was so close to not cratering. Oh, that was an art. That was an art piece of a surf, that right there. Ah, but Epsilon do win this, but Awsomniac really looking like they want to come back in. Cadis is on point. In middle, he's trying to kill Tech, doing as much damage as possible. Tech's whipped out his escape plan, and doesn't even manage to get out of that as well. Awsomniac in a really dangerous position right now.
Why didn't he just use the crits earlier then? Before Nox Uber? It must have been the timing.
Because Nox got an Uber off on Knutsen, so even the crits advantage was nothing. which was
Traumatic.
unfortunate. But Miralin leading the charge for some reason walks into tech and just gets completely shut down. What was he doing out front? I don't know. But Epsilon are losing so many players. Well, I say that. Then they get a couple of kills. Bash steps up, gets a triple kill. Nice job from him right there. They're going to cap the second point and then surely push straight into last. It is 4v2 right now. 4v1, should I say. What are the spawns like on Epsilon, on Awsomniac? Miralin's going to spawn. Can he defend this last point? No. 6-2 to Epsilon.
Yeah, when you're behind like that and playing against the clock, you just have to throw everything you have at them if you want to try and make some sort of heroic comeback. But Epsilon, too smart to fall for that one. They're going to be able to clean that up and take another round here. 4 rounds, the difference as we go into the 9th middle here. Very active game. 1 minute 45 seconds on the clock as War takes a little sticky damage there from Cadis. Cadis is really focused on the left hand side. Kyler is evading his stickies, but he's to move forward there. Knut's bombs in, aggressive and focuses down War. Cadis is straight forward here. This is the middle they were trying to execute before, but the timing was much more sharp there. And Cadis has jumped in all the way behind onto Nox, who's already crossbowed down Starkey. Will he get another notch on his belt? Oh, they've changed. I'm pretty sure how it ended.
I was watching Miralin. I was watching Miralin chase Nox underneath with the. Oh man, that is ridiculous. Oh, I wanted to see what happened. They were fighting each other. I have a little notebook of the med picks or by med picks in games I've casted. Med picks.
Oh.
I don't want to look at that, John. Don't ruin it for me. I'm crying.
Let us, yeah. Let's take a look at the stats, I guess. Yeah, I have found them. Have you got them, Ryushi?
No, not at all.
I'm
sinking into a pit of despair.
You co-caster, please.
I apologise.
Here we go, Walker, Texas Ranger. I found you. I'm giving you the logs. And they did end.
I found it.
They did end 6-2. So there was nothing more to see. I guess that's why they changed the map.
What do you mean they didn't even manage to get the round out of that? I'm surprised. Awsomniac had like 5 more people on pushing that last. They should have got around 6-3, but oh well.
Mirren didn't get the frag either. No frags for Mirren as it stands there. But looking at the damage, pretty close, and Welsh War up there doing 2. Evan Cadis down at 260 per minute. But you know, it's a good spread of damage amongst the players, and it's close on the overall team damage, only really about 2k difference there. But in terms of frags, Epsilon coming out ahead by at least 23. Maths is hard. Epsilon won 5 mids, whilst Awsomniacs won 4, so it was a close game, but it seemed to be a few crucial moments and a few bad mids that really took the wind out of Awsomniac's sails.
Yeah, the Miralin drop really seemed to hurt them a little bit. And he actually dropped 3 times in that match. I know he dropped the crits. He dropped one that we saw. He dropped the crit. So that one where he got caught out in lobby must have been a drop as well. I didn't notice.
Yeah, like that's been a common theme this season. I've said it before on cast, but playing against Miralin in practice and seeing his officials as well, he has dropped often, but usually he doesn't drop them at crucial moments, like where the Uber is vitally important, such as holding last there. But it hasn't been a good start for him on Snakewater. Our predictions, well, I can't remember what you predicted, Ryushi, but my high praise of Awsomniac has proven to be unwise. They've lost the first map. Should I predict Epsilon to win the next one so that they actually lose it?
I'm going to say that I was wrong by the maps. I said 6-2 to Epsilon on Granary, so I'm going to swap that. 6-2 to Epsilon on Snakewater. There you go. I'm right. And then I'm going to say 5-3 to Awsomniac on Granary. They're going to pull themselves together. They're going to motivational talk. They're going to do whatever it is that they do to get happy again. Yep. And they're going to win Granary. They're going to come back. It's going to be a draw. 1-1. Trust me. Well, 5-3 to them overall, but 1-1 in maps. It's happening. It's happening. It's going to happen. Trust me. I'm right. I must be right.
Okay. I think I said 5-3 Granary for Awsomniac. I'm going to stick with my guns here. I still believe. Yeah, I can't help but look past the medic stats as well, that map. Miralin getting significantly out-healed by Nox. Also quite a few less deaths than Nox as well.
He did die 5 more times. So yeah, I think that's pretty good heals from Miralin considering he died 5 more times. So I would put that on par, to be honest.
it's surprising actually to see games like where the other medic has died quite a few times more, but still has more heals. It's bizarre. But Nox really never found himself overextended or away for his combos. He does play pretty passive on mids. I think he really makes a snap judgment after the initiation or the first few shots go down as to whether he's going to stay in or get out. But he was generally man alive if things went bad for Epsilon in middle, and that really helps to stop you from losing rounds, especially if you can count on the other medic to drop a few embers here or there. But looks like we have 11 players on the server. Mike's in spec, just waiting for Mike to get ready.